These pipes are now ready to be inserted with fiber optic cables. Fiber optic cables are made of a few layers. Its innermost layer is optical fiber. Optical fiber is a flexible, transparent fiber made out of glass. It is almost as thin as a strand of hair. Each strand is able to transmit large amounts of data at super speeds over long distances. It carries data through light that is refracted inside its core. The high-speed broadband project will involve over 700,000 kilometers of fiber optic cables, as well as thousands of motherboards for the exchanges. TM is working closely with their vendors across the country to ensure that each component is produced according to international standards. With the nation watching, they know that they cannot afford any mistakes.
We are very much aware that the whole Malaysia and the government is looking at us. And definitely we are feeling a lot of pressure.
Will TM be able to handle the pressure and complete the project in time? What other challenges lay ahead of them?
Before you enter the manhole, you need to detect are there any toxic gas or not.
Malaysia has embarked on a grand transformation plan. The high-speed broadband project. The goal? To upgrade the nation's broadband network to one that is driven by next-generation fiber optic technology.
We want to be the best in the region and be able to achieve the 100% broadband penetration rate by the year 2020.
Driving this historic project is Malaysia's leading telecommunications player, TM.
When we embark into the unknown, there's always the risk of failure. But, that will not stop us from trying our utmost best to make this a great success.
The odds are stacked against them, for they aim to roll out the service in world record time.
Well, the biggest challenge that I see in making sure that we meet the timeline as promised in the agreement with the government is the sheer coordination that we have to make at the Program Management Office to make sure that every part of the organization are in tandem with the whole program.
With the nation watching closely, there is no turning back. To support the anticipated higher demand for bandwidth from Malaysia, TM must add additional routes to the existing international network. Out in the South China Sea, operations are underway to find new submarine cable routes. Leading this is TM's Marine Survey Officer, Khalil Hassan.
Means by tomorrow night we can complete on the block 9. And also there are also updates for...
Khalil hopes for good weather on his expedition.
The challenge during the survey is weather and sea current. If the wave very high, maybe we will stop the operation for a while. And also if the currents are strong, the operation will be delayed.
Delays that he cannot afford if they want to complete the project on time. At the rear of the ship, the marine engineers have been dropping a device known as a sonar fish into the water. The sonar fish works by emitting sound waves around it. The sound waves will bounce off nearby objects and reflect back onto the sonar. This allows it to compile data about the underwater landscape. On board the ship, the survey team is compiling the data. A survey must be done to ensure that the route where the submarine cables are to be laid will be on solid ground and will not be obstructed. However, the data gathered today brings bad news.
Well, but only we have a small problem here. Yes. Can we see from here the rock area? Only we have a gap around 100 meters.
A large rock formation is obstructing their planned route for the cables. They must come up with a solution. After analyzing the data again, they decide to reroute the cables around the rock formation.
everything's going well. And then we have just a slightly problem. There's some certain portion we have a rock area, but this problem is solved already. Now I'm happy because we done well.
With the marine survey complete, another team on a cable ship will come out to sea to lay down the cables underwater. One end of the cables is pulled from the ship to the shore. Once secured on shore, the fiber cable is dropped to the seabed. The other end of the cable is loaded into a 30-ton sea plow. The plow is then lowered onto the seabed. The plow will then simultaneously lay and bury the cable along the planned route decided during the marine survey. This cable will eventually link up with stations that TM is setting up overseas. These stations will receive incoming broadband traffic and will boost outgoing broadband traffic. Once complete, these new upgrades will improve Malaysia's international connectivity with the rest of the world. Back in the heart of Kuala Lumpur, while most people are heading home from work, the day is just beginning for TM's Civil Works team. Working in the middle of downtown Kuala Lumpur poses unique challenges for Asmawati and her ground crew.
First, you need to get permit. So for the local authorities, they only allow us to work in downtown KL from 10:30 p.m. to 4 a.m. That's the only window we have.
With a small window of time to work, they cannot afford any delays. Their goal tonight is to pull cables through pre-existing underground ducts. To access these ducts, they need to go down manholes where unseen dangers lurk.
These manholes are dangerous. The one that we are doing tonight is 14 feet in height. Before you enter the manhole, you need to detect are there any toxic gas or not. When it reaches an acceptable level, then only they go in.
The team proceeds with caution. A gas reader is put in to detect the presence of hazardous gases. Their fears are realized. Unsafe levels of methane gas are detected. Organic decomposition in the ground creates toxic gases which seep into the manholes. In a confined space without proper ventilation, methane gas is extremely dangerous, for it is highly flammable. High levels of methane gas may also displace the oxygen in the manhole and could lead to suffocation and possibly death.
Yes, toxic.
Safety is of the highest priority to the team, and no risks are taken. A blower is inserted into the manhole to blow out the methane gas. When the methane gas is blown into the atmosphere, it dissipates in strength and is no longer harmful. Finally, the methane gas level has been reduced. It is now safe to descend. Once at the bottom, a technician lays through fiber optic cables that will come out of the other end of the manhole, thus connecting the network. Asmawati is thankful that everything has gone according to plan tonight.
We haven't derailed the schedule, so we are on track with this project so far.
By the time the team wraps up, the city is already fast asleep. Besides Kuala Lumpur, another area that is a priority for the high-speed broadband rollout is Nusajaya in Iskandar, Malaysia, located in southern Johor. It is being developed as a world-class metropolis of the future, equipped with first-class